going to be unmolding some more containers. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, this container here is made of concrete. It's a combination of silica sand and Portland cement. And this one here is, there's nothing added to it, just water to mix it and cast it. So I've got a bunch of different colors and combinations that I've been working on. This one here is a pure white Portland cement. What I like about these is that each one's different. You know, this one has a bunch of little air bubbles that got trapped inside the mold, both on the outside and on the inside. I don't know if you can see those in there. But in any case, it just gives it character, in my opinion. I think it's very cool. It's unique. Each one's different. I've also gone as far as to start experimenting with mixing the gray Portland cement and the white Portland cement to try to come up with different effects. So I've showed you the gray, I've showed you the white, I've showed you the gray and white. There's stuff called Quickcrete, and it's cement color. It's in a liquid form. I added some to my gray and got this really dark charcoal onyx color, which is really cool. Let's see, what else can I show you? So this guy here, I don't know if you could see the detail and all the graininess to it. Let's see, where's the camera? You see how that's really... So this one, when I took it out of the mold, I scrubbed off the smooth outer layer to expose a lot of the aggregate. Aggregate is anything that you mix with cement. In this case, there's broken glass. I don't know if you can see it when the light reflects off of it. There's some broken glass in there. And yeah, it's very coarse, very rough. I don't think I'll probably be using this for any candles because I don't know if I'll be able to seal it enough to keep the wax from going into all the little cracks and crevices. So today what I've got is I've got my 4 molds. 2 on I just did with, I took the white Portland cement and I added the charcoal cement to it. So I wanted to see what depth of color I can get. So I did 2 of them like that. This one is the white Portland cement with the broken glass in it. And I'm gonna see if I can sand that down to expose the broken glass and see if it looks really, really cool. This one here, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, it might look a little pink. It's got a little pink hue to it, which is interesting because this sand here, this colored sand, I used as the aggregate. This is all I used. I do a 50-50 mixture between my aggregate and my Portland cement. And so I wanted to see what this one looks like, but I think what happened is that there is some, it looks like pink or purple in that sand, and it's pooled here on the top. So when I take this one out, I'm interested to see what color it is. So I'm gonna start with this guy here, and when I unmold, I just slowly break free the mold from the cement. This part is very satisfying because when I do the initial part, I get to start seeing the color, the texture, and the personality of this particular piece. So from there, now it's just a matter of being careful and working this mold off of the piece, because I usually give it about 12 hours to cure. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be stable enough to demold, but in this case, there we go. So this is the most critical part, where I hold onto the jar and I try to get that suction to release in the center plug that creates the jar. I'm super nervous here. All right, there we go. So here's our mold, turned it inside out. And then here's the new jar. So this one again was white Portland cement mixed with the Quikrete liquid charcoal color. Yeah, it's got a couple spots on here that I'll probably sand down, but this will cure for 48 hours before it moves on to the next phase, which is a water bath. And once I soak it with water, then I will coat it with, I've got a cement sealer. It's for cement countertops, and it's a non-toxic sealant. So we don't have to worry about putting anything nasty in our candles. Try to keep it as clean and natural as possible. All right, so this is one. This is his brother over here. Now I put rubber bands around this mold because I wanted to keep it tight, so that, I don't know, this wasn't quite filled up all the way, and I didn't want to have to pour another batch, so I figured if I tightened it up, it would squeeze that up into the mold and fill the remaining little bit there. So again, here we go. Go around, and then I fold it. This one's tough because the walls are thicker. This is the one I've broken more jars when I'm demolding it. They usually break up here because I have to hold on to it and push so hard when I, and it always wants to curl back down. Okay, here we go. So with this thumb, I'm holding it into place, and then down here, I'm pulling that up to try to meet my thumb. There we go. Once I get it past that point, ooh, yeah, I like that. Kind of made it skinny in the middle. I don't know if you can see the difference. This one's a little rounder, and this one's a little more tapered. And that was just by adding two little rubber bands around the mold. So you can get lots of different effects. And again, they're all different. They're all unique, just like all the snowflakes out here. We're all unique in our own special way. All right, and ta-da! All right, so very cool. I'll be interested to maybe experiment a little bit more with those rubber bands and make it tighter. The thing is though that the plug in the middle is always going to be the same size. So no matter what shape I get on the outside, that inside is going to be the same volume of candle. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, so my hands are all gross, but I'm going to move on to the next part, which I want to see next. I want to see the white Portland cement with the broken glass. All right. Again, people are into the ASMR and different things they watch, and they're like, oh, that's so satisfying. For me, is when I first break that mold loose. This is one of my more successful molds. And what makes it successful? Well, I think the walls are the right thickness, and it just makes it easier when I'm taking the mold off of it. So once I get the bottom even with the top, I know I'm down in the home stretch here. Ooh, I can already see it. This is gonna look really cool. Okay. And again, this takes about 12 hours. I pour one batch at night, like around 9 p.m. And then at 9 a.m. I'm out here, I take it off, and then I'll pour in another batch. back into the molds, and I'll let it cure all day, and then I'll demold it at night. All right, so I found that this white Portland cement actually cures a little harder, a little faster. I haven't had any of these break on me when I'm demolding them. Ta-da! Wow. All right, so you can see, you can see all the texture right underneath the surface of this. So I'm going to sand it down. You can see right there along the, if I can get this to focus on that particular part, the rim of this jar, you can see that is glass. So I'm gonna give this a nice sand down, just enough to expose the glass, and I'll be excited to see. My hopes is that when I put a candle in there and I light it, that it actually shines through the edges of the jar. So very super excited about that one. All right, on to the last one. This is the one that I put the blue sand in, and it's pink on top for some reason. Here we go. To me, the first thing that comes to mind is like candy. It reminds me of some sort of candy. Look at this, it's all pink. Oh boy. Not exactly the color you want for a masculine candle. This thing is totally pink. All right, so this is another successful mold. See how thin the edges are? It makes it easier to stretch and pull, and you don't have to fight it as much. Worry about it folding back on them. Wow, look at that. This thing is like cotton candy pink. Not exactly what I expected, but that's what I like about this, is the experimenting phase. You just never know. You can kind of guess and hope and think that like, oh, this is gonna be really cool. Wow. So this thing is like super pink purpley. Again, I'm gonna sand it down a little bit to try to expose the blue, what used to be blue sand in it, that aggregate. But even then too, you can see along the rim there, it did pick up some of that texture and some of that color. So I'm gonna sand these bottoms down and clean these up a little bit and let them start curing. Thanks for watching. Drop any questions or comments down below. Follow me on wickedcandle.com. Well, not wickedcandle.com, but at wickedcandle for both Instagram and Facebook. Twitter, it's Candle Wicked. And remember, Wicked spelled with an ID, not an ED. And yeah, tell me what you think. And I hope to be posting the next one live, and hope you'll join me for that one. Take care, everybody.